Oh, yeah. So I got a new girlfriend today. A 1995 Telecaster special. I've been wanting a Telecaster forever. Look at that guitar, man. Let's play it a little bit, man. Yeah, I don't care if you see me. Yeah, so here we go. Yeah, look at that baby. That thing is so sweet, man. I've been wanting one of these for like 5 years, bro. You know? And it's just like... It just sounds so good. I'm so happy. I've worked hard for it. Yeah, so I'm not smoking a pipe tonight. Man, is that a beautiful guitar or what? She's got red hair and fingertips. Oh, yeah. I love it. I love her, and she sounds great. That's a 1995 Fender Telecaster. Made in Mexico. But the thing is, and I was all over Johnny Onion Mannion. Okay, I'm like, dude, what about this guitar? What about the last couple of months? I'm sending him like photos of like guitars and stuff like that. And of course, not many of you may know this, but Johnny Onion Mannion, 2 a.m. Pipe on the Patio, is he was inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame. So who would I go to other than him to ask him these questions? And I already have like 9 or 10 guitars, and this is one I didn't have in my collection. And he's like, oh man, get a made in Mexico one. He's like, they were, the neck and the body and everything, all the hardware was made here in the United States. They shipped it over to Mexico in the 90s, and Mexico assembled them. Then they came back, they set them all up and everything. I bought this from an 85-year-old guy that bought it brand new from the House of Guitars, the great, great House of Guitars here in Rochester, New York. Anybody who's a musician, if you haven't heard of the great House of Guitars, the Hog, you're not a musician, all right? Because it's like world famous. So he bought it from there back in 1995. The thing is pristine. It's like brand new. Like brand new. And I was like, all right, well, I'll take it to Dave Stutson, my guitar guy, and have him set up. He's like, I know Dave real well. You don't need to take that guitar anywhere. He says, it's all set up. It's ready to go. And that thing stays in tune. And so I plugged it into my Marshall amp, and he's like, there's so much feedback, reverb and stuff on there. He's like, give me a clean channel. And he's like, I'm used to playing, I'm used to playing jazz, which is like real clean. And I'm used to playing like Stone stuff, which is dirty, a dirty sound. And so I got it all cleaned for him. And he's like, this guy at 85 years, he looked like he was 65, 70 years old. His fingers are flying all around the fretboard. I was like, I couldn't get the money out of my pocket fast enough. Yeah. So Johnny, he's been texting me the last couple of days, 2 a.m. pipe on the patio. Did the guy answer yet, man? That's a great deal on that guitar. Did he answer yet? I was like, he's seen my text messages. No, he hasn't answered yet. And finally today he's like, oh, can I meet you, Monday or Tuesday? I was like, look, I'll tell you what. You've already accepted my offer. I'll give you an extra $40 if you drive the 30 miles out here and deliver it to me. And he's like, okay, I'll do that. So he came out with his wife, and yeah. The thing is, you have to reward yourself, okay? Because I've been working my ass off, making money, not getting rich. So I spent $600. The guitar's worth $200 more than that with a hard shell case. I'm thrilled, and I love the color. Yeah. And she just plays like butter. Johnny, 2 a.m. pipe on the patio. I wish you could hold this guitar in your hands and play it. I've got some nice guitars, okay? This is the best player that I have. So sometimes you just got to reward yourself and just say, forget about it, All right, all my bills are paid. This is what I want. I've been wanting one of these for like 3 years. I've been torturing Johnny, 2 a.m. pipe on the patio, for like the last 3 months or so, right, Johnny? What do you think about this one? What do you think about this one? What do you think about? And I picked it up for $600 with a hard shell case. The hard shell case itself is worth $100, and the guitar, if you were to get a Fender American one, it would be $1,500. And this basically is an American one. It just was assembled in Mexico, which I'm okay with, So I'm pretty stoked. Yeah. If Johnny had this in his hands, what he could do with this. Johnny, this one has like a 5-channel switch or something like that, instead of the American one only had like 3 channels or something. I don't know. The guy was trying to explain it to me and showing me the directions. I was so excited I didn't pay it. But it's got like 5 different channels. And it's like, you can get a lot of great sounds out of this guitar. It just blows my mind. It's just, all right. So that's my, you know, present to myself. So, what the fuck? The thing is absolutely stunningly beautiful. And like I said, the guy that I bought it from was 85. So it's like, he's like, yeah, I got 27 guitars. And he's showing me pictures of all of them. And he's like, actually, I got some pictures of them here. He's like, yeah, this one is a 1960 so-and-so. I bought it. And he says in 1964, it sold for, $4,000. He says, and in 1970, I bought this guitar. He said for 400, it's worth 9,000 now. It's probably worth way more than that. And then he's like, and I got this guitar here. He's got all of his cards with all these different guitars that he owns. And he's like, look, I got 4 daughters. They're not interested in any of my stuff. So I'm getting older and I just have to let them go. And I says, well, you found a great home. Yeah. Keith Richards would love this guitar. Although he'd play it with 5 strings instead of 6 strings. So yeah, another cool thing. For about the past 2 years, I've been kind of talking a little bit to someone who's very, very famous. She's, and she asked me not to say her name or anything. But, I'd make comments on her Facebook, which is real. It's not fake. I mean, there's like 1.5 million followers on her Facebook. And all of a sudden she's like, just send me a friend request to this. And, I'd like to talk to you. And you're so vain. You probably think this song is about you. You're so vain. That's all I'm going to say. So anyway, I talked to her for a couple hours and she's like, you really seem like a nice guy and I'd like to talk to you on the phone. And she called me. And so we talked for about 15 minutes or so. And I was like, no, I'm not starstruck or anything, but this just really just didn't happen. And, obviously I heard her voice and then I went to her most recent interview and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's the same person, And then I looked up the number that she called me from and I was, yeah, that's where she lives. And strange things happen. I told her, I says, look, I've got a brand new girlfriend that I just got today. And she's like, send me a picture of her. And I sent her a picture of the guitar. And she was laughing. And I said, oh, she's a beauty. Yeah. So it's been a good day. Indeed. Yeah. But I told her, I says, because she lives here in New York. And I said, look, I says, come on up to Rochester and I'll take you out. Do you like Italian food? She's like, I love Italian food. I says, I'll tell you what, just come up. I'll take you to a very nice Italian restaurant and we'll have a good dinner together as friends. And she says, yeah, that sounds great. What restaurant are you going to take me to? And I told her, and, all of her hits were in the early to mid 70s. So it's like taking her out to dinner now. I mean, she's 20 years my senior. but she's still beautiful. She's still gorgeous. Um, it would be like, yeah, it's not like people are going to be running up asking for autographs or anything like that. They'd probably just be like the older people. Is that who I think it is? In the restaurant. But so yeah. So hopefully in the future we'll have some dinner plans together, her and I. I told my mom about it, and she's like, "What? You really talked to her?" And I was like, "Yeah." Um, and but all of the things, like I asked her, I looked up certain things ahead of time about her, and I was like, "So do you have any brothers or sisters?" And I already knew she had one brother, two sisters. And instantly she texts back, "Yeah, I have a brother and two sisters." And I said, "Well, when's your birthday?" Instantly texted me back her birthday. So it wasn't fake. And I wasn't blown away or anything like that, but it was just like, wow, okay, so I've been talking to this lady on and off for a couple of years, just through comments on Facebook and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, and I asked her, I says, what made you reach out to me? I'm just like an everyday guy. What made you reach out to me and want to talk to me on the phone and get to know me? And she's like, well, you just seem like a real nice guy, and, just like a normal guy, and you weren't starstruck. And she didn't use those words, but that's what she meant. And so, I just wanted to reach out to you and get to know you better. And I thought that was cool. So, it is what it is. And she told me, she's like, really, really famous people, it's like people think that we're like gods, and we're not. We're just like everyday people. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I mean, I don't look at you like a god or something like that. I'm not starstruck. I'm happy that we're talking and stuff like that. But I'm not going to sit down at dinner and be like, oh, so, and like interview you and ask you a million questions that you've been asked a million times before. We'll sit down as friends just to have a great dinner, and what do you like to do, and blah blah blah, and just like you would a normal person. That's really who she is just a normal everyday person who happened to have a lot of hits and became extremely famous. So yeah, it was pretty cool to talk to her on the phone today. Yeah. It's not every day that happens. So I just, it was pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah. And I told her, I says, look, I says, I've got a YouTube channel, and I've had people come visit me and so forth that have been watching my channel for years. And they seem a little starstruck, like, I can't believe I'm meeting Paul the Pipe Guy. I didn't tell her Paul the Pipe Guy, but I just said, I can't believe I'm meeting this guy after, seeing him on TV for so long. And, I said, I'm just a regular guy. Just, I just am, just a regular guy. And she's like, oh, yeah, can you send me a couple of pictures of yourself? And I did. And she's like, wow. She's like, you look really young. And I said, well, I try to take care of myself and so forth. And I have good genes. So, yeah, that's how my Sunday went. It was a great Sunday. Tomorrow's Monday. I got to go back to work. And the worst part of it is that we've had to place the clocks forward 1 hour. So now, instead of getting up at 5 in the morning, I really am getting up at 4 in the morning. And it's just like, I mean, right now I'm so hyped up by getting this new guitar and talking to the person I talked to today. It's going to be hard for me to get to sleep, you know. It'll all be good. So Callie the Killer Calico Cat, yeah. I noticed where she sleeps. I was like, what the heck is going on here? It's like where she sleeps, it's like there's like little, you know, those little McCormick jars of spices that you get that has like dehydrated onions, chopped up onions. That's what it looked like in her bed. And I'm like, oh, I know what that is. Yeah. She's got the worms. Yeah. So, yeah, I had to go down. I spent $50 on her today between litter, cat food, and 3 pills that I got to shove down her throat. So I came home and she's like laying where the sun is coming through the window. It was a beautiful day today. And I was like, honey, you're not going to like this, but, yeah, well, we're going to have to shove one of these pills down your throat. And I grabbed her, and it took me about 6 tries. Finally, I had a little chat with her, and I said, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way, but either way, it's going to get done, Callie. Callie, C-A-L-I, is the name of my cat, because she's a calico cat. So her name is Callie, short for calico. Finally, the 6th time, I'm prying her mouth open. And she opens her mouth, and in it goes, and I shut her mouth, and I see her swallow, and then she's just like, I was like, all right, that wasn't so bad, right? We only have to do this 2 more times, okay, baby? Because Daddy loves you. I want to take care of you. I want you to be healthy, and so forth. So then she went back down, laid in the sun. Her tail was kind of wagging. She found a little 6-inch snake today somewhere in the house. I hear meow, meow, meow. I look down at the bottom of the stairs. She's throwing this snake around and biting its head, killing it. You know, and she loves it when I was like, good girl, good girl, good girl. She's just like, meow. And you can hear her purring. She knows she did something good. Anyway, so I'm Paul the Pipe Guy. Yeah, it's been a great Sunday, great weekend. Yeah. Can't believe all the things that have happened today. I'm just like thrilled. Anyways, I'm Paul the Pipe Guy. I'm going to try to relax, settle down, and go to sleep. Happy Sunday. Over and out.